Professor?
I slipped quietly into the vault and rummaged about, looking for anything we might find useful. There is a group of people who want to kill us, after all. What? This is no time for asking permission. I learned long ago that one can ask permission or forgiveness. It is rarely useful to request the former. Still, it appears the knights have already taken everything useful. There were crest-related objects I thought might be worth studying, so... There you go again with that stern look. Of course I'll put them back when I'm done, assuming they bear no additional use. That's not mine. That's not mine. That's not mine. That's not. That's not. That's not. That's not. That's not. That's not. That's not.
A moment, please.
Okay. Maybe. When I heard that Monica was with the enemy, I was surprised by how unsurprised I was. Something was just off about her. It's hard to explain. That said, whenever she had free time, she was always hanging around with Edelgard. I wonder if Edelgard is also... Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm just being paranoid. Please ignore me.
Dark expressions don't suit you, Professor. But well, I'm glad to see you out in the world again. It seems this month will be a quiet one around here. There aren't many knights around to liven things up.
Most of the knights are gone, seeking out the enemy.
Isn't that a bit much? I agree it's important, but is it a good idea to neglect the safety of the monastery?
What do you think, Professor? I agree. We can send some knights after our enemies, but so many? It makes the church seem reckless.
It seems this month will be...
Professor? Do you think we'll still be able to graduate? If dangerous things keep happening around here, who even knows? I'm worried. I hope that all the students and professors will be there to celebrate at the graduation ceremony.
There is no one here who has not heard tales of Geralt's valor. We have suffered a most dear loss. I do not know what the enemy's aim was, but I do know this. After what they have done, we cannot suffer them to live. If there is anything I can do to ensure that justice is brought swiftly, you need only give the word.
Professor, people are saying horrible things about Marianne. They're saying she's friends with the bad guys. If I hear someone say that, I'll...
Leave it alone, Hilda. It doesn't matter.
That would be the quickest way to resolve this. Come on, Marianne, let's give it our all. Never seen that? Never, 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 never. Professor, people are...
What's this? What's
Hi, Teach. I see the storm in your eyes has passed. You're looking much better. I've been reading Gerald's diary. The baby he mentions. That's you, isn't it? I can't understand about half of what's written here, but Gerald really cherished you. That much is clear. A lost... A lot... 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 You found it, Teach! I've been looking everywhere. Whew, thanks a million.
Singing with others is a nice change of pace. Usually I do it when I'm alone.
Something appears to be wrong with my throat.
Excuse me.
Not just Tomas, but Monica, too. We can't be sure who to trust anymore, can we? Who are these people, really? What do they want?
Professor, oh Goddess, hear my prayer. Please receive this beloved person. When the cold rain washes the body, when the bird and wolf announce the dawn, receive them into your blue blood, receive them into a twinkling star. That's a morning scripture from the Church of Saros. Lady Rhea taught it to me. I pray that Gerald is happy in the next world. I don't know. 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 I don't know.
Need something? This one? You're all set. See you again soon.
Professor, I'm scared. I feel that I don't understand the world. How could something like that happen to Gerald? He was so strong. You're inspiring, Professor. I'll do my best. Someone... Oh, that's mine. Thank you so much. I've been looking everywhere.
Hey, you.
Excuse me, Professor. How are you holding up? I know how heavily grief weighs upon one's heart. I lost my mother some time ago. It was... Forgive me my moment of weakness. Even all these years later, I cannot recall that time without feeling the pain, as if it were brand new. Just know that I am praying for your mind and your heart to find peace. Oh, I adore this. Oh, I adore this. I appreciate this. I appreciate. Professor. Oh, I adore this.
First Tomas, and now Monica. I do have a theory, though I admit it is nothing more than speculation. Both Tomas and Monica have each gone missing at one time or another. It was reported that when Monica returned from her disappearance, she began to act like a completely different person. As if, perhaps, the real Monica had been killed and replaced by an imposter. Thinking of it like that, it is possible that this Solon had been impersonating Tomas for some time. How they managed such a convincing change of appearance, though, I still do not understand. I'm sorry. Yes, this is mine. I'm sorry.
Excuse me, Professor.
Is something hiding just behind that book? That ring! I have seen it before. Ah, I know. Gerald showed that ring to you beside a grave. Do you recall? He said he wished for you to have that ring one day. That means it's yours.
He also said that you should gift that ring to someone special.
Right. I have something rather uncomfortable to discuss. It's about the weapon that killed Gerald. Will you listen? It was a dagger, but I know enough to know it wasn't an ordinary dagger. It wasn't made of iron or steel because, well, because whatever it was, the wound it left wasn't normal. Who could make a blade like that, do you figure? No, 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 no. Wherever did this turn up? Thank you for getting it back to me. No. I wonder who they were.
You've lost someone very dear to you. I'm so... You have my sympathy. Manuela and I can take on some of your workload this month. We can't do all the teaching, but at least we can lighten the load for you. I've always seen strength in your eyes. I know you'll recover. You're a very strong person. I can't believe I left this behind.
Professor, you have lost your father. Now more than ever, do I understand how very lucky I am that you were able to save me. Professor, I deeply appreciate what you have done. Thank you. If there is anything at all I can do in return, please tell me, okay?
I've never been much for condolences.
Hey, you.
Hey!
Monica von Ox. There is nothing suspicious in her past that would suggest this change of character. Her transformation must have something to do with her disappearance last year. Sadly, that is the extent of my knowledge. I wonder who kidnapped her, and why.
First Tomas, and now Monica. I am so sorry. The failing was clearly our own. We didn't notice the enemy's invasion. And now Gerald. I apologize. There is nothing I can say to atone for our sins. Professor, please do not let your guard down even among the people of the monastery. There is no way to know where another enemy may be hiding.
Professor?
Excuse me, but I gotta go grab me some seconds.
Seconds? We only just started eating. How did you magic away your firsts?
Whenever I eat with you, Lawrence, I always feel like I have to mind my manners. It's awful.
Good. You should mind your manners even when I am not watching. You are a noble after all.
That looks delicious. Goddess forgive me, I've just got to indulge.
Delicious! After a scrumptious meal like that, I feel that I can really seize the day.
I find it difficult to eat when you stare.
My apologies. You and the professor are both so fascinating, I simply cannot help myself.
Yummy! Who made this? I'll have to give my compliments to the chef. Simple days like today are probably the ones you'll think back on fondly, you know?
Ah, I can eat so much of this stuff. My stomach's growling just thinking about it.
I'd rather eat alone in my room, but since that's apparently not allowed... Okay.
I love to cook. What are we making today? That's so. I have a lot of experience in the kitchen. I can make just about anything. Wow.
Well...
Professor. Ah, there you are. I apologize for calling you in so suddenly. Please, sit. There is a matter I would like to discuss with you. I believe I've told you this before, but it is my responsibility to aid the Archbishop in all her duties. Spiritual instruction, ceremony oversight, donation management, all of the Church's many administrative tasks. I oversee not only the priesthood, but also the Knights of Seros and the Officers' Academy. The Archbishop entrusts a great deal to my discretion, and I am honored by her confidence. Even when she must make decisions herself, she often seeks my counsel in advance. And yet, your appointment to a teaching position at the Officers' Academy was a complete surprise to me. Not only that, but you have also been entrusted with the Sword of the Creator. I was as surprised as anyone else to learn that. Frankly, I am just not sure how to handle you. I am the Archbishop's right hand, and yet when it comes to you, I have been told almost nothing. Not quite. I do find you to be a trustworthy individual, but my subjective opinion is not enough. I have a duty to be cautious. Should the Archbishop's trust in you prove to be misplaced, it is the faithful who will suffer most. First, I would like to know just how much you know about yourself. You are the child of Geralt Eisner, correct? That's quite a vague reply for such a basic question. In the future, I would advise you to answer such queries with confidence. As the former captain of the Knights of Seros, Geralt was renowned throughout Fodlan. If you really are his child, then no one would voice any complaint about you joining the Knights. How long has it been since you became a mercenary? Given your youth, that hardly seems likely. Come to think of it, I have never asked your age. Just how old are you exactly? Your face says it all. You truly don't know, do you? Just what was Gerald thinking, raising you this way? Given your responses thus far, I feel as though any further questions would just be a waste of our time. However, permit me to make one thing clear. Whatever her reasons, the Archbishop has placed great faith in you. Do not betray that trust. That is all.
Professor. Hey, Professor. Got a minute? Look, I'm sorry I snapped at you. I didn't mean to lose my temper. I was rude to you. I should have known better. Huh, I thought you might say that. In that way, you're just like Captain Gerald. You accept other people. You don't let petty details get under your skin. Well, when I was a kid, I kind of latched onto him. I've been calling myself his apprentice ever since. He spent some time in the village I grew up in. Actually, you weren't with him back then. Why not? Huh. Maybe he left you with a relative or something. Anyway, back then, Gerald's job was to deal with poachers. Well, they were bandits, but we called them poachers. Nobody in the village could stand up to them. But your dad, he took them on like it was nothing. I was so impressed. All I could think was how amazing mercenaries were. I'd lived in that tiny village my whole life, so to me, Captain Gerald was nothing short of a legend. So I went right up to him and I told him I was going to be his apprentice. He didn't stick around long after that, but he did teach me a lot while he was with us. Tactics, strategy, training routines, it was all so new and exciting. So after he left, I kept at it, kept training, just like he taught me. Me too. I always planned to meet him again once I became a top-tier mercenary. But I'm just glad I got to see him, to thank him properly and all. I've spent my whole life working to become a great mercenary like your father. There were so many times when I wanted to ask his advice, but I couldn't. I just had to make do. That's how I've made it this far. Just hard work, all on my own. But then you come along. And it's like you don't appreciate Captain Gerald at all, or how lucky you were to have him around your whole life. No, it still really bothers me. You might be his kid, but I'm still his best apprentice. Got it?
Hey, Teach, hold on a minute, okay? I'm gonna have this cleared up in no time. Nah, that's okay. I'll be finished soon. I'm just in the middle of mixing up a new poison. And done. What do you think of that, Teach? A colorless, odorless poison. Say, care to test it out for me? Whoa, really? Actually, I was just kidding. If you drink this, in 2 days' time, you'll have terrible, let's call it stomach trouble. I hear your silent question, Teach. Why the delay? That's so it can be used even if you don't have access to the target when you need the poison to take effect. Naturally, I have no immediate plans for this stuff. I suppose I just felt like broadening the old horizons a bit. When devising schemes, it's best to have as many options at your disposal as possible. expanding those options is kind of a hobby for me. Well, I grew up in an environment where it was necessary to think that way. It's like I told you before, I wasn't born into a life of luxury. Ever since I was a child, I've always been seen as different from those around me. An outsider of sorts. I've been resented and hated. There have even been attempts on my life. I don't believe I've earned such treatment, but that's how it goes for people like me. Thanks, Teach. You know, in many ways, I'm just a normal person like everyone else. But in the right environment, anyone could be seen as an outsider. It can become overwhelming. And that's why I kept running, kept fighting. As a kid, I spent a lot of time licking my wounds and coming up with schemes, trying to keep my nose out of trouble while plotting against my enemies. My parents always told me I wouldn't grow stronger if I didn't learn to fight my own battles. And so in the end, I did. And I grew up to be as independent, as self-reliant as my parents always wished for me to be. Lucky me, right? If anyone knows what I'm talking about, it must be you, eh, Teach? I get the feeling you know what it's like to be an outsider. The moment I first laid eyes on you, I knew you weren't like everyone else. People don't care for folks like that. You do well to watch your back. On the bright side, that's also part of the reason that I find you so interesting.
This was hardly a challenge for... Now I see the heart of it. This was... I've come to...
I've got a grasp on this. How's this gonna help? You...
I learned... That was... Let's do...
No problem. Nope. Nope.
Tell me something. Makes sense to me.
Professor. I'll let you take the lead.
We will work with each other.
Whew! Finally done.
Yeah, I've got this down.
Better than before.
I'm actually pretty good at this.
Seems simple enough.
I've got it.
Am I starting to master this?
I'm certain I've improved.
I can really do this.
I hope this song reaches the goddess's ears.
I can't sing very loud.
I am grateful.
Failed. It's due to your poor judgment.